one common misconception, especially when it comes to performance advertising or performance marketing, is that in the past we used to think that targeting would be the primary lever, right? But with Gen AI, I think that has changed things up a little bit. And in a sense that creative now is the new growth engine. Of course, in the past, you used to have things like DCO, that is still valid now. But with Gen AI, I think it opens a lot of new opportunities for you to leverage on AI to power up on, having ads that actually resonate better in terms of personalization, creating different variations that would help you speak better to our consumers. So this was from our previous global brand campaign, the Best You, that just ran in the early stages of this year. We started off with a global brand film, and we ended up with not just one asset, but close to 80 different ad variations that we managed to scale across the globe. And in terms of performance-wise, because of that social emotional connection with ads that actually resonated better with the users, we saw engagement rates that were 1.6 times higher than the average. And when it comes to brand lift studies, we managed to see returns that were much, much higher than the standard travel benchmarks. So the bet that I have is really to upskill our teams. This is something I don't think we will see immediate effect, right? Because it will take about 1 to 2 years to get everyone up to speed. The most important portion is having that experimental mindset and starting to test and learn. In the long term, we'll build up the capacity both internally and also sort of sets the tone when we work with external partners. At Klook, I think we have already seen some meaningful outcomes with adopting such a mindset, and that would include being able to partner more closely with external companies such as Google as well as TikTok. In most recent months, we've actually become the first advertiser in APAC to pilot the use of Google's image-to-video technologies, with TikTok to actually experiment with the AI avatars.
Berencana traveling ke Jepang, Singapura, atau Thailand? Ini penawaran menarik untukmu. Dapatkan diskon hingga 50% untuk atraksi, tur, dan aktivitas perjalanan lainnya hanya di Klook. Happy traveling!
ถ้าคุณกำลังจะไปเที่ยวฮ่องกงญี่ปุ่นหรือโบโรเคนี่คือดีลเที่ยวที่คุณไม่ควรพลาดลดสูงสุด 40% สำหรับโรงแรมกิจกรรมการเดินทางและอื่นๆอีกมากมายที่คลุกรีบเปิดคลุกแล้วจองเลย
Thà này đi Sen, Thái hay Việt, mở áp Klook sang đi du lịch cực hơi, ưu đãi lên đến 50% các hoạt động vui chơi, land tour hot hit nhất, lên kèo Klook có, đi đâu Klook lo.
So some key metrics that would be useful when it comes to determining the success of Gen AI usage would be to think in terms of growth metrics as well as performance metrics. So growth metrics would be in terms of the overall time spent to churn out varying creative iterations. So production capabilities, an increase in efficiency on that front. And in terms of performance metrics, it would be your standard performance marketing goals, such as the likes of increased conversion rates and even higher brand awareness or brand lift levels. One component is really expecting Gen AI to be able to move the needle when it comes to user personalization. With a lot more advertising platforms these days also incorporating sort of predictive AI in the mix, it has become a little bit challenging when trying to really segment the user. User interests nowadays are becoming more varied, right? We have multiple interests at one stage in time, and that can continuously change. That changing user behavior, overlapping of audiences, and also in terms of user privacy and regulation updates has made the personalization a little bit tougher. I think a lot of advertisers today think that Gen AI is a plug and play, but to be honest, it requires a lot of structured testing, being able to sort of document down prompts that work well and doesn't work well, builds up the ability to be able to think long term. The second point is focusing too much on skill over substance. In travel, we are seeing a huge wave of price-focused messaging that honestly it's a volume game at the end of the day, and that brings in some risk at the point that the user doesn't get what they expect from the time that they engage with the ad to landing on the site. That may result in what we call a spend wastage from a media perspective. The brands who will truly win in the long term will actually be the ones that focus on substance over skill. One way I usually use to determine the prioritization is whether that particular element actually helps in human growth or machine growth when we think about probably incorporating Gen AI into the overall workflow. If creating more variations of that particular element trains up a machine well, but for a human to learn that, it doesn't really help them in their overall skills development in the longer term, then that would be one strong signal that I would think would be used in terms of prioritizing what should be tapped on with the Gen AI. We are in a inflection point where a lot of people are very worried that AI may take away their jobs, right? Gen AI actually comes in to complement our skill sets from a more personal perspective. So that is one way I usually use to determine how I would prioritize it. So I think one key destination I would like AI to help me plan is a trip to Japan, because you can go to Tokyo for a very bustling city life. You could go to Kyoto for a cultural experience. Likewise, the holiday may be very, very different if you go to Okinawa, right? You require a car to drive around the island. And I think the most important portion that I will also like AI to incorporate into the itinerary is every day I would like a time at the onsen, and I'm assuming that AI knows what time the onsen closes.